I think what it did was a direct result of the whole punk thing just a few years earlier, where it really sort of, I think heavy metal was really pumping itself up and up through the late 70s, and you know, the big traditional rock star things and the big jets and everything was really reaching sort of a sky limit that was getting a bit silly. And I think that the new wave of British heavy metal brought the whole thing back down to the street, and also reflecting on some of the things that I think punk brought into it, which was bands making their own demo tapes and sending them around and making independent 7-inch and 12-inch singles and so forth, and doing that sort of stuff. I think that musically it borrowed some of the stuff from the punk thing, that bands like Iron Maiden and Saxon and Motorhead were obviously a lot more energetic than some of the more plodding stuff back in the early 70s, but I think lyrically we were still in the same cliche-written territory, which is, you know, the Dungeons and the Dragons and the, you know, sex and the women and some of these silly things, which is some of the stuff that we tried to avoid up through the years. But lyrically, that was probably the smallest advancement that was made.
So what kinds of things do you write about?
What do we write about? Well, we have over the last couple of years tried to avoid some of those things and concentrated more on some of the things that we see around us in real life. And a lot of people keep asking me if I think that Metallica lyrics are specifically negative or grim or gloomy, or I think that we just more reflect on some of the actual real things that we see around us. And I think that it's better to say that the Metallica lyrics are more like an honest interpretation of some of the stuff out in the real world, instead of trying to paint all these fake facades and pretend that everything is just so brilliant and walk around smiling all the time.